Hey everybody, what's going on? Coach Sil here with Ask Coach Sil, and today's question is broad and wide, so it'll be a multi-series on this question because the actual question was explain nutrition. And that is going to be very difficult because nutrition is a beast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a resource, and I'm going to break down nutrition the way I would for a personal training client or a nutrition client. I'm going to provide all the information that I provide to my clients for free, so you guys can kind of apply bits and pieces or all of it to your nutrition goals and help you guys lose that body fat, gain that muscle, whatever it is you want to do. So nutrition is very, very complex because everyone's so different, and food should really be enjoyed. Some people like tracking numbers, other people like a more vague approach to it. Some people get caught up in the numbers game, and let's face it, the numbers work, but they're not for everybody. Unless you're a really high performing athlete or someone who needs to be in a specific weight class for performance or competition, or someone who's really set on reaching that goal for the summer, the numbers are, you can get caught up in the numbers, and it doesn't hold much weight with longevity. And it's a great Kickstarter, like those 30-day challenges we have, but the hope is that you guys develop life skills in order to maintain that nutrition, the positive nutritional habits day to day. So the first thing we're going to talk about is life skills, and the first life habit, I guess I'd call it, would be eating slowly and enjoying your food. It sounds super simple, almost too simple not for you to do, but if we think about it, we're very rushed and we have very busy schedules, and most of us don't enjoy our food the way we should. We scarf it down, we're busy, especially lunch or a breakfast if we ever do get breakfast in. So this is to kind of get you to that place where your body can understand when it is full, and that's very, very important. If we can understand when we're full, we're going to eat less calories, we're going to consume much less calories, and we're not going to eat as bad, I guess. So the first thing is you want to eat about 15 to 20 minutes. That's how long you want to take to eat a meal. I know that sounds silly to some of you guys because you scarf it down in 5 minutes. But if you do eat your meals fast, the best thing to do is set small baby steps to get that 15 to 20 minute mark. And the first baby step would be add 1 to 2 minutes the first week, and then continue adding 1 to 2 minutes until you get to that 15-20 minute mark. That's going to be a lot easier to do than say I'm going to spend 20 minutes at the kitchen table and have this whole meal and just sit around twiddling my thumbs. You can put your fork down, you can have a conversation. If you're by yourself, I'm sad for you, but you can check your phone. Although distractions, we want to avoid them. So if you're like me and you like watching a TV show while you eat, that might not be the best approach. So turning the TV off and eating with somebody would definitely help. And you want to just chew and savor and enjoy that food. Now, there is a scientific reason behind this. It takes about 20 minutes from for our satiety mechanisms to kind of operate optimally. So your stomach sends signals to your brain sends signals back to your stomach saying, hey buddy, you're full, and it takes about 20 minutes to do that. Now, if we're scarfing down 1,000 calories in like under 10 minutes, we're gonna feel bloated, we're gonna feel gross, you're gonna wanna undo that belt, and you wanna avoid that. So eating longer and slower and enjoying that food is gonna allow you to eat less calories. It's gonna allow you to have feedback from your body to let you know when you're full and when you're really full, and you'll stop eating because you are full. Now, what goes hand in hand with this goal of eating slowly, another reason we wanna eat slowly is get into the habit of eating until you're about 80% full. And I know it sounds, ambiguous, 80%. What is that? Well, scale of 1 to 10, 8 out of 10. You should feel really satisfied, but you shouldn't feel grossly full. You shouldn't feel overly full. You shouldn't feel bloated. You should just feel good. And that's going to really help with performance, with energy levels. And the way this happens is it's gonna allow you to perform for a certain amount of time. So if when you finish eating, you have that satiety reinforcement from the brain to your stomach saying, hey, I'm full, I'm satisfied, then you should be good. An hour later, no problems. 2 hours later, you should still be satisfied. You shouldn't feel hungry. 3 hours later, you might want to eat something else. Usually a 3-hour period is what occurs in protein synthesis. So if you're trying to gain muscle, that whole eat every 3-hour thing definitely plays a role. But every 3 hours, usually you want to have a little small meal or a meal. And if you're at 4 hours, you're gonna get really, really hungry. Now, if you're really full 3-4 hours later, and I've been there and we've all been there, then you've probably snacked in between meals or eaten way too much in your previous meals. That's a really good indicator, and keeping that in mind when you guys eat a big meal. So if you're eating lunch at an all-you-can-eat buffet and it's dinner time and you're not hungry, then it's probably because you've eaten way too much for lunch, and your signals haven't been you haven't received that feedback yet to say I'm really satisfied, I'm full, and you've overeaten. If you guys eat accordingly and you get busy and you're eating, the 4-hour window has passed and now you're into 4 or 5 hours, we also want to avoid that. We want to avoid feeling extremely hungry, because we all know that when we get hungry, we crave bad stuff. Specifically, really simple carbs. We are low on energy, so we tend to crave a lot of high sugar and high carbs. Now, we'll talk about intermittent fasting later. This is not what I'm referring to when it comes to intermittent fasting, because the quality of food that you eat is extremely important. But right now, in this first topic, we're not talking about quality of food. We're talking about how much food, in the sense of feeling full and not overly full, and enjoying your food. All right, so take that home, put it into practice, start today, and start seeing results.